Our final expert witness, Cathy O'Neil, is a mathematician who quit her finance job on Wall Street.
I saw really bad stuff going on.
She's since written a book, Weapons of Math Destruction.
Realizing that they were everywhere, these algorithms that people trusted because of their mathematical authority, but that were actually taking advantage of people.
She's in no doubt about the power of Facebook's information-gathering algorithm for companies with something to sell.
Facebook has given them the opportunity to go straight to a certain individual and a personality type.
And it's not just retailers who have something to sell.
Blanket advertising is dead.
This is Alexander Nix, the chief executive of Cambridge Analytica, speaking at a Concordia business conference in New York in the autumn. His London-based company claims to have influenced the US presidential election.
Cambridge Analytica, what they were suggesting they were doing was understanding everyone who voted in the United States in terms of their personality types.
If you know the personality of the people you're targeting, you can nuance your messaging to resonate more effectively with those key audience groups.
So the idea was that they were going to use those profiles, called psychometric profiles of voters, to decide what message to send to those voters.
So, for a highly neurotic and conscientious audience, you're going to need a message that is rational and fear-based or emotionally based. In this case, the threat of a burglary and the insurance policy of a gun is very persuasive.
Alexander Nix points to a political campaign advert that states the Second Amendment right to bear arms isn't just a right, it's an insurance policy. After Donald Trump won the election, this company sent out a statement claiming their personality profiling techniques had helped him win. Some people have said Cambridge Analytica have used data from Facebook users' profiles, but Cambridge Analytica denies it. Cathy O'Neil isn't sure how effective this kind of campaigning has been so far, but she says Facebook is the perfect place for politicians to minutely target people, and that these methods will become more effective. Here's how it could confuse a voter into voting against their political instincts, she says. Take a conservative politician in the US with whom Cathy O'Neil disagrees on all points except one.
If Rand Paul's campaign wanted to target me, they would send me the message saying, oh, Rand Paul wants to break up the big banks. So do you. And that's true. I do want to break up the big banks. So I would think to myself, Rand Paul sounds pretty good. Why don't I check him out? And I would go to his website, and they would follow me with cookies.
Cookies are downloaded onto your computer when you visit a website. When you visit the site again, it then knows you've been there before.
They'd say, oh, we know who this is. This is Cathy. And we know what she thinks, so let's only show her what we want her to see. So it would be very difficult for me to find good information about Rand Paul if I had to rely on Rand Paul's campaign.
We're not saying Rand Paul is doing this, by the way. It's just an example of how campaign targeting could work. And psychometric profiling could even be used to stop people voting, Cathy O'Neil says.
That's when it gets really scary, is when the campaigns have the ability to send whatever kind of information they want to a given person, including the opposition. We have no way of tracking that.
The inventor of the World Wide Web, Sir Tim Berners-Lee, has recently warned that political campaigning on the internet needs tighter regulation, saying that campaigns sent out as many as 50,000 personalized variations of their ads each day on Facebook during the presidential campaign.
We don't know what those advertisements were, and Facebook will not show them to us. The problem is that we have no tools at this point. There are no laws against this.
We did ask Facebook for an interview, but it declined our invitation. If by this point you're worried about how Facebook's algorithm is changing our world, take a step back, Cathy O'Neil says, and look at the bigger picture. Because it's not just Facebook's algorithm that's wielding huge influence. Powerful algorithms are everywhere.
We have algorithms that assess teachers. We have algorithms that tell police where to go. We have algorithms that tell judges how long to sentence criminal defendants to in jail. We have algorithms that decide who gets an interview at a job, how much you're going to pay for insurance, whether you're going to get a credit card. And so it's all over the place.
Maybe these algorithms are leading to better decision making.
Sometimes they could be.
The problem, she says, is that no one really understands what's going into the algorithms, into the black box. And what's in there is not as scientific and objective as many people assume.
Algorithms are opinions embedded in math, embedded in formal code. So there's some person's viewpoint on what is valuable, what is important.
Cathy O'Neil has set up a company to help industry regulators audit algorithms. She admits they're not banging down her door for help, though. But she's convinced this will change.
In the next 5-10 years, we're going to have a new regulator that is in charge of algorithms, that helps every single regulator make sure that the algorithms involved in their specialty are fair and accountable. We will have to do that, or else we'll just be slaves to the machine.
How powerful is Facebook's algorithm? The answer, it seems, is very powerful. In trying to serve us only what it thinks we'll like, it's invisibly filtering the information we encounter. And as it learns from the data we willingly provide, it's getting to know us as well as our friends, even our partners. That makes it easier for companies to target us with adverts aimed at our individual desires and fears. That could be useful, helping us to find the products we really need. Or it could expose us to manipulation. We've been talking about just one firm, albeit a huge one, trying to make sense of the data trails we create. there are many others. And if it's not just retailers, but also politicians trying to exploit the power of the algorithm, the implications could be profound.